Hello, my name is Rebecca Gibney, and I am the Curriculum and Online Learning Specialist at Blast Intermediate Unit 17 in Williamsport. And I'm here today to talk to you about Flipgrid. Whether this is the first time that you are checking out Flipgrid or you've been using it for a couple of years now, it's always important to revisit the instructional technology tool because, especially Flipgrid, they're always updating and making new changes and enhancements to help students and educators each year. So why Flipgrid? To start off, it's always fun and engaging for the student and the educator, and it makes it an interactive practice between the students and their classmates, the student and their teacher, and some schools have even made it student, teacher, and parent. So it allows for that interactive communication among each individual. It also allows students to express their creativity, from stickers to social media to even providing their own selfies if they wish. From the educator, it allows for the teacher to differentiate a bit moving forward in classroom discussions. And it allows for student voice. Students are no longer able to just sort of sit and be a shadow in the classroom. Every student is participating in a Flipgrid conversation. And most importantly, one of the best things, it allows them to become digital citizens. So as ISTE has sort of been reinforcing, we need our students to be able to know how to use internet and social media technology, everything appropriately, and Flipgrid allows for our students to do this. It's also very easy for our teachers and our students to navigate, and it is amazing because it is for all content areas and all grade levels. So it's not just solely for science or math or English. It can be used all across the board. It provides for some pedagogical learning strategies. So, for example, you could start assessing for prior knowledge. You can use it for reflection. Some teachers use it for summative assessments and so forth. And it promotes metacognition. Our students are literally thinking about their thinking, and you can see that process happening through the Flipgrids. So some key terms before we move on. A grid is something that you're looking at, and a grid is basically your communities. It's a multimedia message board. And so, for example, if you're an educator, you might have 7 different grids, and each grid represents a different period that you have each day. Inside each grid, you have a topic, and the topic is where the teacher is basically posting their question and expecting the response from the students. All responses, it's not handwritten by students, but it's verbal. So in your topics, you might have one grid, a grid. So they within the grid, it might say period 1, but then within the grid, you might have like 10 different topics, one for each unit. I want to go back for a second and show you when you create your grid. In order to make a new grid, you would just click Add New Grid, and same with topic within your grid, and you can just add a new topic, and then you'd have a second topic down there. So how do you make a Flipgrid? Obviously, you need to first start by creating an account, and then you'll create a grid, which is also known as your community. What you'll realize is that it makes an auto-generated flip code. Be careful of that. You may definitely keep that flip code, but you can also customize it and change it to make it a little bit easier for your students to remember. After that, you're going to choose one of the 3 communities. You can have a community that's based off of your school email, so that tends to be the most popular, especially with older students. That means that it's secure. This community is secure only to the students that have your domain. Okay, so you would just provide that there. The second option is you can allow students to access your community using their student ID. And if your students don't have email accounts, you might do this option instead. The third option is if you make it public, and that's with anyone that can access your community as well. So it's not necessarily, it's not safe, but it's the least secure out of the 3 options. So when you share with your students and you want to get them logged in, so the beauty of it, they don't need their accounts. They don't need accounts. Sometimes I would have them make one. It is free, and they would just make a student account, but you do not need an account for Flipgrid. You will need the app, whether it's on their phones or an iPad or an extension, anything like that. But In order to share the grid, you would just click the share button, and then this will come up. So you can see I've already made one for Lycoming College. So you would just copy either that link and share it with the students. You can do it through Remind, Google Classroom, you can embed it, you can do Microsoft Teams, or you can download the QR code and share that with them so they can scan it. Once they are in your grid, it usually shows up again when they log in under the account. If you prefer just to share their topic, all you need to do is same thing, click the share button and then copy the link again, or have them scan the QR code and it'll take it directly to the topic. If we look back on here, notice how it says active. This means that it's visible to our students. If you click on that, you can have inactive or you can have frozen. So if you don't want your students to see an upcoming topic, you can just make it inactive. So from the student perspective, when they go to add a video, they'll see this whole board with either uploaded videos already, or maybe it's just blank because they're the first ones to upload. They would click the plus button and then they would just simply start recording their video. If they already have the video recorded, they can embed or upload a video that's in their camera roll. So that's always nice. At the end, they'll ask for a selfie. So, you know, sometimes students like to take a picture of their faces, and then they can add stickers and whatnot. They can do a Bitmoji. Sometimes I have them take their notes, so it's up to you. They can also click on the person and then watch the video and the students' comments, and then they can comment on each other's videos. That is completely up to you, and you can also screen videos as they go up, but if you do that, you might also be getting a lot of videos all at once, so that's definitely up to you. From the teacher perspective, you would see a screen like this. These would be all the students that participated in my Flipgrid. And as you can see, like for example, this one has a green ring around it while this one does not. That means that I have already previewed and watched this video, but I still need to watch this video. When I click to watch the video, this is what will come up, and I can leave a comment. I can either type my feedback to this person, or I can record my video feedback. That's completely, again, your preference. If you have already dabbled in this and you really want to catch the Flipgrid fever, there's a couple of other advanced options that you can do and use in your classroom with Flipgrid. So there's a link to the educator's guide. You can create a flip hunt, which is sort of like a scavenger hunt with Flipgrid. You can do Grid Pals, which is like a Pen Pals, but over Flipgrid. And there's some resources there for you. And then AR and VR with Flipgrid. So completely up to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks.